Hello, 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 friends. It is live time here. I am Andrea, and this is Journals for Life. And as I have teased, I am going to show you the new dies that I have in shop that I just released. I released them today. Hot off the presses. Hot off the presses. So, let's see what those look like. So I want to talk about this one in a minute because I want to talk about what inspired this die and who inspired this die, and you may know who that is. So this die is called a peekaboo pocket. A peekaboo pocket. It's a little bit wider than 3 and it's 4 inches tall from here to the fold line. So this is like a 3x4, and this insert is 3x4 to the card, and then it's another 1/2 inch to the pull tab. So it's 4.5 inches tall by 3, and this is a little bit bigger than 3, so the 3 will fit by 4. And the reason I made it that way, this one, it's called a peekaboo pocket, but you can use this pull tab. A lot of the ephemera that I release is circular, and it's a 1 inch, usually 1 inches. And I make sure, that sometimes these things fit or in punches or different things. So you could use a 1 inch punch to punch something out and layer it on here. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, and I'll show you some examples. You can also stamp any of your 1 inch stamps, circular stamps, here on this tab. And then the reason I made this 3x4 is because we have a ton of 3x4 cards. I've got stacks of them. So these are all different 3x4 cards I pulled out that I thought were interesting. And remember these 3x4 transparencies? I have a bunch of those too. These are hand stamped cards. And then, on paper, we have these 3x4 cutouts. So I thought this was really pretty. So I'll show you what I do with those. So 3x4 cards fit perfectly in this die. So, and then you can stamp images or stamp things to where that shows. And if you want something with a pull tab, so I did notch it out so you could pull it out. The other reason it is notched is so that you can see the design. So the design looks like that, and then you can either journal here, or you can stamp an image and then pull it out of the pocket. And then another fun thing that we'll look at in a second, and I'll show you some of my samples that are sitting up here, is you can put acetate here and stamp on the acetate. So there's so many ways to use this die. So this is called the Peekaboo Pocket 3x4, and it is in the shop. So let me show you what I made. That's what it looks like. Okay, so here are a few examples. Let me clean up my messy space really quick. There we go. So here we go. Here's some of the plainer ones. Here's some of the more decorated ones. So here is the Peekaboo Pocket. So I'm going to take the card out. Now I like to use a 3x4 backer, just because unless you're going to put it straight into your notebook, and you can do that, you can glue the flaps and put it straight into your notebook here. So you could glue the flaps, you just put it straight into your notebook. Sometimes I handle them a lot. These are going to go to a crop this weekend as samples and examples. So since I am probably going to handle them a lot, I put a backer on. So what you can do if you want to put a backer on these is either you can use a 3x4 card that you have on hand and glue the flaps to it. So you could, put your 3x4 in, glue your flaps down, and then you have something to kind of hold it if that's what you want to do. So that's what this is right here. I just put a 3x4 piece. Another thing that you can do is cut out 2 of the pull tabs. So just cut out 2 of these and then glue one in. You're going to want to make sure that you line it up here, because if you don't, it's just a teeny bit bigger than 3, so it could get slightly off center. So you want to line it up here, and then you can put the flaps over it and glue it. And I'll show you that in a second. So this one is a cute little summer pocket. I used a transparency. This transparency is so old. It's probably like 20 years old, and I don't even know who makes it. But it was a cute little Hawaiian summer clear acetate piece that I cut down to 3x4, and I glued it to the front window. So this is one without a window, so I glued it in here, and then I made a cute little pocket with it. And then this here is the nice pull tab. See how pretty that fits in? And so you could see the pattern. I found a pretty piece of paper that I wanted to cut out. I just kind of, put it around on the paper till I found something I thought would be nice and that would look cute in this peekaboo. So that is the card for this one. And then I just finished it with this really pretty sticker. I really didn't know what to do with that. I've had it for a little bit, so I just thought that would be really cute. It's nice and tropical. I live in Florida. All the pinks go together. And it looks like I'm losing my little leaf. Gonna embellish the tops. So that is a cute little way to use your peekaboo pocket. So that's one. Here's another one that I made with, looks like my light might be acting goofy. I don't know if you can see that weird frequency, but this is that transparency. So it was another piece of this one, and I just cut out a 3x4 and glued it on the inside. I did put it on a 3x4 card so I can put it out as samples this weekend. And then I had this cute bathing suit and sun. And I do have a stamp with the sun, and then it says go with the flow. If you were a subscriber last year, you bought the Sweet Treat stamp. I'm sold out of those, but I had that go with the flow and this little water. And you can stamp little images. This one is cut out of like some maybe blue wave paper. And then this geotag is from, oh gosh, what collection was that from? I knew it yesterday and now I can't remember, so I'll have to look. But most of my ephemera pieces or die cut pieces will fit on this. So you can just grab a piece. This might be summer patio. That might be what it's for. It's either summer patio or a good day. I can't remember. So if that's from summer patio, you get a sneak peek. But it fits right there. I was able to stamp a cute little sentiment, and that's why I had this peekaboo where you could, peekaboo's here, and then you can see through it as well. Just create a lot of interest. So this is also the Sweet Treat stamp that I had. Summer stories, a little glass. A lot of the images I place on the stamps are great for, just small areas of your journal or planner. And that is another little card. That fits perfectly there. And then here's another couple ones that I made. I just like this pattern. I thought it was really cute, so cut out my card. I did cut an extra piece of cardstock to be able to fold it over. I think I lost these leaves just aren't sticking, are they? Might have to get a little glue after them. So I did put a piece of acetate in here, you see it? You can stamp on top of that with some alcohol ink and some archival ink. And then you can see through this as well. And so it lines up nice and pretty here. You can put, I don't know, if you had a ladybug, or you could put a label and stamp the label here and put it on there. You could stamp a sentiment on top of the acetate. So another cute way to use that. Then I have this one. So this one and this one that we'll make in a second. See how you can use a 1-inch circle stamp. I cut out of the 12x12 papers that have these cute little cutouts, and so let me show you what that looks like. So it's cut out of here, and it did look like this. So what I did was I cut this string off, these three, and then I put the die, I lined up the top of it with the card to cut the card out, and I put a piece of tape on it, and I ran it through my die cut machine, and then so it comes out like this. So this is the card, and this is the card above it. So I cut into the next card up here, and I just thought that that was cute. It was a cute little topper. You can take that and, you know, cut out different pieces. Look at that, that would be cute. Like this little journal spot with the words at the top. So this is a lot of fun to play with and find some patterns and things that you like and be able to cut it out. This is just a plain piece of green cardstock with a 3x4 backer. And then the peekaboo is cute. Having a hard time seeing around the camera. There we go. Because you can put stickers or sentiments or anything here. I didn't put acetate on this one, just to show, you know, it can be open, or you can put acetate on it for other different things. You could probably make like a little shaker. We'll have to maybe bring on a little shaker tutorial or something later. But this one doesn't have acetate, so you don't have to use acetate. It's really just being able to see what's in the pocket. Because a lot of times if it's solid, it's, you know, it's hard to, I'm kind of visual. I like to see, you know, what's going on in my book. And sometimes I don't pull the cards out to look at them or read them. So it kind of just gives you an idea of what's in there, and then gives you a little place right here to be able to decorate. So that's another one and another idea. And here's one where I had just a giant sticker. And I thought that was really cute. It came from the same sticker sheet of this. These poor little two stickers were on the sheet together, and I've had them for a long time. So I grabbed them out, and it's just, it gives a nice little pull tab there. And that's what this piece is great about. This little piece poking up is it gives you a pull. And so that's why I designed it that way. So here you are. And this is another one. Looks like my little thing's coming off. So for this one, I kept the cutout, and I've got a bunch of little cutouts here. Let me show them to you. So here's the cutout when you cut out the pocket, this pocket here. So when you cut out the pocket, you have this piece, and this piece is great for journaling or whatnot. So there's a couple ways that you can use that. I have some where I put them on the side here, and so you can use them on your card or use them as a journaling spot somewhere else. For this card, what I did was I thought this, sometimes the patterns are really busy, so the card is really cute. It's a nice cute double-sided cardstock, but it was really busy. You see how this, you have this, if you had this and, you know, that, or this green checkered color, you really can't see your handwriting or whatever it is you want to stamp. So save that piece. It came, if you do a double-sided paper, usually sometimes it has a pattern and the back is plain, so save it. Or save some pieces from the other ones you cut out. This one was from this pocket when I cut that pocket out, so I saved it. And so what you can do is you put your card in, and you have your piece. You'll put glue on it, then you'll line it up and glue it right here. And when you glue it like that, it fits perfectly. You're able to be able to see what you're writing or put your journaling there. So that's another cute little example of the peekaboo pocket. And I'm going to make a quick peekaboo pocket to show you kind of how they assemble. And then we'll look at the other die, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the other die and who and what inspired that. So that's this die right here that we're talking about, peekaboo pocket. All right, so I have some pieces and parts here to kind of show you how it all goes together. Throwing them all over the place, so I've got to gather them all back up here. Let's see, let me move these. We'll talk about these in a minute. All right, so here's some different pieces of the pockets, and I just wanted to assemble one for you. So for this one, like I said, you could either cut two of these out. So you could cut, let's see, you could cut this one out like that and wrap it, which is what I'll do. And that way you have a back for it and you can just glue the back and glue it. You can make up a bunch of these ahead of time. That's what I do. If I have to stop and like die cut one thing and come back, sometimes I don't do that. So I'll die cut a whole bunch ahead of time and have them ready to assemble. So if you cut a bunch ahead of time, go ahead and cut out an extra backer so you can go ahead and assemble them and have them ready and just have a little stack ready. So I'm going to do that really quick, and then I just usually take a bunch of my scraps. I have these, you see them? I'll just take a bunch of these pieces of cardstock and run them through dies. So you could take this die and run a bunch of your scraps through and then have a bunch of little cards in different colors ready to go. So that's how I do it. And then you take your other one. So this one matches. So this will be the card that slides in and slides out. Actually, I might do the opposite. I might glue this one since it's the same color and then use this as the card. So here's a couple tips when using this pocket. You want to get this lined up because in here it's like, it's a tiny bit bigger than 3, so just so you can get this card in and out. If you just glue it down, you flip it over, it's going to look like that. It's going to be off center. So you're going to want to make sure that you get it centered in your pocket like that. And what I would do is either tape it. You want to make sure it's straight too. You see how I don't even have it straight? You want to get it straight. Let's see if it'll focus. Oh, hi. Let's try not doing that. All right. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. That looks better. All right. So you want to make sure it's straight and straight. You can either pinch it or hold it, or you can use a little piece of washi. And that's what I did. I just put a little piece of washi here. Oops. Stick it down. And then you'll put some glue on the flap. So okay. You can also put a little clip on it. You can hold it if your hands are steady. So I use my bone folder a lot because sometimes I find that these score lines, I mean, they're pretty good, but sometimes when you go to push them down like this, they'll go sideways. So I use my bone folder a lot just to make sure I push it down on the correct line and it's nice and straight. Oops, see? Get it nice and straight, Andrea. Nice and straight. Nice and straight. Okay. And I jogged it. So there you see firsthand of why it's important to get it straight in the pocket. The other alternative is if you don't want to fool with that, if you don't want to get this one straight, because the other one that you put in will be straight. If you don't want to line this back one up, just use a 3x4 card. And so let's do this again. If you're going to use that peekaboo piece, you definitely want to get it straight because you will get aggravated like I did multiple times when it's not straight. I like my stuff straight. You want it to look straight. You want it to look right. Okay. I don't think I'm getting enough glue on here. There we go. Okay. You want to make sure it's straight. Perfect. So the alternative to that, if you don't want to fool with that piece, so I just want to show you that getting this straight is important when you're gluing it. You don't want it to be off center. So make sure you flip that over and look at it and make sure it's straight. The alternative would be to get a 3x4 card. Just cut out or go get one of the Project Life cards that are 3x4. And it doesn't matter if these are straight or not, because like this is a scrap piece. You can just put it in there 3x4 and it doesn't come up. So let me glue that one in just to show you what that one looks like. And that doesn't matter. You don't have to be concerned whether it's straight or not. You can just glue that sucker in straight up. If you need a backer. This is only if you need a backer. If you don't need a backer, if you're going to glue it straight into your journal, you're not going to assemble them ahead of time, you won't even have to worry about this. But if you're going to assemble them ahead of time, you definitely want to make sure. See? And so I didn't have to worry about lining that up. Lining this piece up and gluing it properly. I can just stick a card in there. That's what I would recommend. Just put a 3x4. This one, a little bit more finagly. Got to make sure you get that in the middle. And so then once this is assembled, that card fits right into it. I think I had a brick. Yes. Okay. So you can place your card just like that. Glue it in your book. And that's the easiest way. It's just a 3x4 plain card without that. Just put it in there and then your pocket piece will go right in. Okay, and so this one, make sure you get that piece lined up because it's not the card is not the same width, because to give a little bit of a gusset, you want to line that up and then glue the back on, and then here is the card that's going to go in here. Okay. Perfect. And then you can stamp this or whatever you want to do. Use a round stamp. There you have it. So that is the Peekaboo Pocket. And another thing you can do is take something like this or that, you know, and glue it to that card, or just put it in like this and you can see through it. It's just a little bit hard to take out. I would glue it to this. Glue it and then put it in there. Could also recycle these. Like this is a paper pad that I have. You just pull it off, and yeah, I'm one of those people who take pictures of their food all the time. I'm a foodie, so yes, I do take pictures of my food. So if you have those or sticky notes or different things that come with planners or journals, you can take that and stick it, and then you have a nice little organized pull tab thing, just like that. Okay, so that is the new Peekaboo Pocket. Now let me show you the Specimen slide die. So this die was inspired by my friend Anna Roca, and Anna should pop in and say hello. Tell everybody who you are. She is on the creative team, and she would take some of these die cuts, these slide die cuts, and this could be a specimen slide or it could be a photo slide, however you want to look at it. I like to put flowers in them or preserve different things in them. But Anna made up a bunch of these, and I was so inspired by that last year. I made some and put some acetate in the window, and I used archival ink to stamp like a spider for Halloween. It was so cute. So she inspired this die. I I made it to where it can be used in all kinds of different ways, and you can put acetate in here or you can just leave it plain, and we'll look at some examples in a minute. But this is a whole lot of fun. So this measures 3 by 3. This is the back, this is the front. It folds, and you can use it in this orientation or you can use it in this orientation, whatever works for you. I left some room for stamping or from some little banners or sentiments or stickers, however you want to do that. So here you are, it's 3 by 3. It fits in the tag stacker die. So if you put the tag stacker die in the short tag orientation, you can fit these in, and this is what that looks like. So these are a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun making a bunch of different items with these. So you can do like a little shaker. So here's a little shaker. I put some acetate in it. So you have to cut it in half. So you cut it on the score line. This is what it looks like. So you cut it on the score line right here. Cut it in half. You put foam tape all the way around. Well, you put your acetate on. Then you put foam tape all around. You stick it to the top. And you've got your little shaker in. And I'm going to make one in a second to show you what that looks like. So you can see that get put together. That's this one. That's this little shaker. So I had these cute little bows. This is the A Good Day collection. And this is the A Good Day stamp. And I thought it would just be really cute. This little die came in the A Good Day. So it's like a little, just something fun and a fun little shape to be able to play with and stick in and have people take out and shake. I like interactive pieces in my journal, so this is perfect for journals and junk journaling. You can use any kind of paper that you want. The best is the double-sided paper. You know, pick something that you like back and front. You have like the darker piece on the outside and the lighter in the inside. You can also, after you cut it out, it makes a little, I think that's too big. This one, yeah. It makes a little dealy bop, so if you want to, you can flip it over if you don't like the pattern inside. So, for example, this, like if I didn't like that pattern in there, it was just too much, I could take another offcut or another piece and just put it in there. Or you can just put a piece of white paper in there if you just want a plain background. Or you can cut it out of like a single-sided paper like this one and stamp a sentiment on the inside and do a shaker. So there's so many different things that you can do with this cute little die. And this is what it looks like cut out. Folds just like that. And you can cut it in half if you want to make a shaker pocket out of it, or if you want to preserve something. Speaking of preserving something, so these are my anniversary flowers, and I pressed them in a book for a while, and I put some foam tape here to lift it up, and then I put a piece of acetate so it wouldn't fall out, so it's nice and preserved. So I lined the inside with foam tape in a box all the way around to keep the flowers in. The acetate also keeps them in and preserved. And then I stamped a happy anniversary, because these were my anniversary flowers, with a little layered sentiment here. And there you have it. And so that's going to go in my book just like that, with a photo of our night, what we did, and the flowers that I got. So that was a lot of fun. So you can preserve some different things in there, flower pressings or whatnot, different other things, ephemera, pieces and parts that don't maybe glue well into your book. You can just save them in this slide and put them in there. And that's what Anna did, I believe. I think she used some stickers that were pressed flowers. You can put stickers in there. You can put, you know, your leftover ephemera pieces. If you have some like pieces of ephemera, I think these would be fun just to put in there to shake. You know, you can put some leftover hearts in there and then they could shake. So lots of fun. So that is the specimen die. There's two foam pop-up ones. And then here's some other ways that I used it as well. So you could put a photo in it. And here's my little photo. I just kind of washi taped it in there. And I left it open because I thought it would be fun to flip like a book. And here, I think I'm going to replace this with white, but this was the cutout from here. It's the reverse side of this one. But you can put so this is the cutout from the Peekaboo die pocket, and then, or this one, if you have just a plain one. And it's cute that it's got the rounded edges already. And you can just write a little note. Isn't that cute? Look at that cute little clip. You can just write a little note about whatever this is in your little slide die. And it's a great way to add more photos. You could also put a photo here. So you can get two. You can do this one, and you can also put a photo here and maybe put little labels at the bottom as to what they are. So that would be a way to get more real estate on your page. 1, 2, and 3. And then a last idea that I have is this kind of like book style. So I made a little book out of this. I was thinking about taking some more, so you can do it in the opposite orientation like this, and having like a book. So you can make a little mini book, and you can stick that mini book in the tag stacker die. So I think that would be a lot of fun. And so this says summertime. I took this cutout and I glued it back in from another piece, the cutout from the die. I just glued it back in. And then, so summer is coming, and this is my chair outside. So this is for summer patio. That's next month's collection. I release it in another week or so. So this was me getting ready for summer. Pressure washed my chair. That's my chair. And June, that's where I will be. If you want to find me, I'll be sitting in that chair, enjoying the summer. So those are some cute little ideas with the specimen die. And I'm going to make one really quick. I'm going to make a shaker one just to kind of show you what that looks like. And then I'm going to say goodbye for the day. My comments aren't coming up, so I don't know if either no one's commenting or I just can't see them. I'm not really sure, and I'm sorry if I just can't see them, and I'm sorry if I'm not responding to them. So I seem to be technically challenged sometimes, so I will respond to all comments after this if I'm missing comments. Alright, so I can't see that very well. It's too far away from me, so I'm just going to manually cut it out on this line. So you could use your paper trimmer if you're not blind like I am, but that's going to be the sure thing for me right now, is just to slice it. Okay, so then you have a top piece and a bottom piece if you don't want it connected like the cute little book, and it's going to look like that. So what I'm going to do is put a piece of acetate on this first. And I'm going to use this from a sticker sheet. And you can save those from sticker sheets or other pieces. You can save it from your packaging, like, you know, packaging like this. You can save that and then glue it in. Don't necessarily have to buy slides or transparencies or things like that. So cut out a little piece. So it's a 3x3 die, so I'm going to cut that out a little less than 3, little less than 3. How's that for measurement? You want to glue this in first. I make the mistake of all the time of putting my foam in, and so you want to glue this in first and put your foam on top of that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm having a little trouble with my glue. Even though I got it ready before the live, I'm still having trouble with it. Let's see, let me get a pen really quick. I might just use a tape runner. Let's just use a tape runner. Oh, it'd be nice to have one that's got glue in it. Let's try that. My son made several projects. I was very proud of them for some different science last minute assignments, and then he had to make a pennant for a college he wants to attend, so he came up here and borrowed these, and it looks like he used all my glue and didn't replace it, so it doesn't matter. I was very proud of his projects that came out of that, and he's very independent, so I love that. It's like, that's my son through and through. All right, so here we go. So we've got that, and we've got the foam. So step 1 is cutting out your die. Step 2 is cutting it in half. Step 3 is adhering your acetate. Step 4 is putting your foam tape down. And if you're coming to the Scrappers RX crop this weekend, we're going to make a shaker house. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So it'll be similar to this, it'll be bigger. We're going to assemble a house with the shaker sequins and the windows. It's going to be really cute. If you're coming, you should definitely sign up for that class. Tammy and Stacy put on a great crop. It's one of my favorites to go to. We have some really great ones in the area, but it's definitely my favorite one to attend. And you should go and check out their cruise crop. They're doing a cruise crop next year. That is going to be a whole lot of fun. You should go check that out if you like cruises and cropping. I think I cut that one too short. Let me try that again. So that's scrappersrx.com, and I'll leave a little link in the chat. Okay, so now before you pull the foam strips off, you're going to put your mix in there. Now I've got this cute mix, this bright mix. I'm just going to put it in there. You don't want to do too much because it'll stand up and it won't really shake in there. Might be a little much. You want it to shake, so do that. All right, then you are going to take out your strips here, take it off the foam. Be really careful. I have avalanched this stuff everywhere before because I am not dainty. I'm about to do it again. Okay, and so what I would recommend for this is turn the one that's the same color and do it this way. And so I gotta get real close so I can look at it. Make sure I'm putting that on there right. I'm gonna get it lined up, and there you go. Push it down, and there you go. How fun is that? So now that the same color is facing this way, it doesn't show white at the top. So even if you get it just a teeny tiny bit off, which I might have just like a little fraction there, you still can't tell because it's all pink. And if you want to, you could stamp a sentiment on there, or you can use stickers. So I have this last piece from that sticker sheet. I love when I use a sticker sheet. Like I'm happy to like throw that away. Whew, done with the sticker sheet. So it says, "Here comes the sun." I'm going to grab maybe a little sun embellishment to go up here. And this little sequin watermelon mix is really cute. And there you go. And there you have a shaker. And so that is called the Specimen or the slide die. You can use it or photo. I just called it, I could call it a specimen slide or a photo slide. It doesn't matter, potato, potato. I put things in mine to preserve. So that's why I called it a specimen slide. You know, because in the day, and probably still today too, you would put things in there and you would pull them out and observe them and look at them. So it's kind of the same concept in the journal, putting fun things in there and observing different things, especially the flowers that I had for my anniversary, right? Oops. It's like I put them in there to pull out and observe the beautiful flowers I received 20 years ago. So anyway, that is the slide. This is it. Lots of fun. Where did it go in the package? I've lost it. Nope, here it is. Okay. And that's it. So they're both launched. They're both in the shop. I hope you enjoyed that. Go and buy one. It works with my tag stacker die and some different other things. I'll show you one little sneaky peeky before I go. You probably saw it earlier, but if you're a kit subscriber, you know that you get a 3x4 kit stamp in the kit. I stamped some of these earlier because I got my prototypes in for September. So starting September, I'm going to put a circle something that will match, and then you can stamp on here. And then I'm also in the die cut packs that I have. These are, okay, I told you I'm not very graceful. And the die cut packs that I release each month, it will also have some circles. So you'll have some choices of putting a piece of die cut or ephemera there that fits on this peekaboo pocket. Or you'll have some choices of stamping. I think, let me find them. So I stamped 2, and I'll show you a cute little sneaky peeky. Let me find it. Okay, so here's one. And let me see if I can find the other one. I don't see it. All right. Oh, here it is. Is that it? Yes. Okay. So that's just a quick sneak peek of the September stamp. And I will try to put a 1-inch circle on some different things, so you'll have some choices to use that. And if you don't have the peekaboo pocket, it doesn't matter. We always use like 1-inch circles on everything. And then if you have 1-inch circles, it fits perfectly right here, and you can see it all the way around because of this little tuck piece, and so you can see the full thing. So that's it. All right, friends, talk to you later, and thanks for joining me today.